Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here.
And BlueDragonFive.
And Jacob Wile, too.
And welcome to another mind-blowing episode of Tiki's Universe. That's right. It is the show where we react and respond and recap and yada, yada, yada. All kinds of various animated programming, including Rick and Morty, Steven Universe, Star vs. the Forces of Evil, DuckTales. Coming soon, Big Hero 6, guys. That's on the way. That'll be here before we know it.
Yep.
Deadpool, eventually.
Yeah.
All right. How are you guys doing this evening?
Doing all right, thank you.
All right, well, tonight we'll be talking about Rick and Morty, Season 3, Episode 8, entitled Morty's Mindblowers. It's the Interdimensional Cable episode for this season. This is what we're doing, yeah. All right, so Morty's Mindblowers. What was your guys' mind blown by this episode?
Oh, yeah.
It's quite the interesting episode.
Yeah, I was, I don't know. I'm going back and forth between, honestly, I think all three of the past episodes have been home runs. Because we have the Citadel episode, we have the Toxic episode, and now we have this. And I think all three of them are like, you know, probably like the best of the season. Like, this is getting into a really good sort of, you know, the season is kind of like hitting its stride in a way. It's really like, if it continues in this quality, then at least half the season will be like some of the best Rick and Morty.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I do agree with that. It was nice to have somewhat of a lighter breather episode.
Yeah.
I will say, this one, I like this better than traditionally what we've done with the Interdimensional Cable. I know it's not Interdimensional Cable, but the fact that they kind of subvert that, I think
Well,
I like.
they directly say, like, yeah, this is basically our Interdimensional Cable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, Dragon. I agree. Like, the Interdimensional Cables are a very popular episode format. I think they're some of the most popular of the series. But I think this was just a really nice change of pace. I really like how we've established how into this whole concept Rick is and how, you know, the layers of preparation he has, like the different levels of, you know, like the different scenarios and whatnot.
They're edited and everything. You know, he's got them all. Well, he needs to relabel them, but he's got them all.
It's kind of interesting, like how like there are a lot of stuff that he like. Some of the stuff that they've gone through that we've seen has been a lot more traumatizing than stuff we've seen on these cylinders.
Well, something I want to explore the title for a moment here, because the title just, you know, Morty's Mindblower is just, you know, the mind blower of it all. I like that essentially that kind of the mind blower as in like kind of the Rick and Morty twist, kind of those moments that really kind of define what the show is a lot of the time, where, you know,
we did get at least one of those in the episode. We did get at least one mind-blowing, like, oh, holy crap, did they just completely change the continuity on us?
That's what I'm saying. I would still make the argument that we have at least smaller versions of that with the rest of the mind blowers. The mind blowers just, it's points like it's an element of the episode, okay, like your typical kind of, you know, shenanigans sitcom, but then something kind of Rick and Morty-esque happens, and this basically is a room full of the Rick and Morty essence, if you will.
For sure.
I kind of took from the whole mind blowers of it all.
Yeah, I really love the concept. It's also like a really fun play on memory.
Yes, this to me was far better than Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind for that reason. You know, we actually look into the commentary about you know, removing memories is far more entertaining and far better than it is in that film. Come and get me,
you
America.
Don't have to be mean to Eternal Sunshine. Come on.
No, I'm gonna be mean. I'm gonna be a little.
God.
Fun. I'm not gonna be mean to it. I'm gonna be truthfully harsh to it.
All right.
I'm looking at you, Eternal Sunshine.
Jeez, what'd Jim Carrey ever do to you?
Hey, I love Jim Carrey. He let me down with that movie.
Jeez. He let me down with The Majestic, but not Eternal Sunshine. Man, you're
funny. I love The Majestic a lot more than Eternal Sunshine.
Man, no, I strongly disagree. Anyways,
saying
this
in
is
comparison
about Jim Carrey movies. If you guys want to see us debate Jim Carrey movies, Give us a comment. Yeah.
No, come on.
I'm just kidding.
Well, no, seriously, it's about Men in Black. That's what this whole thing's really about.
It's got some Men in Black in there. You know, in a weird way, I almost kind of took some BFG.
Oh, right, because of the whole dream thing.
Like,
right.
Look, I doubt that they went to that for inspiration, but it kind of just aesthetically reminded me of it, the way that the dreams are held in, like, you know, the crystal-like things.
I love the runner about Men in Black 2.
Yes. Save it for YouTube, Rick.
I tell you, though, I disagree. I didn't think Men in Black 2 was joyless. I don't think it was a joyless cash grab. I'm not saying it wasn't a cash grab, but it wasn't joyless.
I barely remember anything about it besides the subway scene, which was in the trailers.
That's what I'm saying. It had good moments in it. It wasn't all pandering.
Anyways.
And a Rosario Dawson. Who doesn't like Rosario
Dawson?
All
right. So, guys, I don't even know where to start with these mind benders. There's so many of them. Any particular favorites?
Well, I have them all in chronological order if you want them, but...
I'd rather just kind of, like, jump around.
All right. Let's see. Well, one we should probably start with the Whole Enchilada.
Okay.
I don't mean all of them. I literally mean all of them. I just mean the one called the Whole Enchilada. Basically the Flubian kind of death wish. Basically, this cool looking alien comes down. I love it. He has like a really nice, kind of almost like a wedding invitation for Rick, asking him to kill him.
I love how at first Rick is like very intimidating. He's like, "Look out, Morty! It's an alien warlord."
He's like, "Oh nope."
It's a little casual Rick is about the whole thing. It's just like, okay, well, after
all right, well, look, we have to get some lunch. We'll talk it over, but I'm very flattered.
Lunch, of course, yeah.
It's actually nice to see pleasant Rick.
Yeah.
And again, we have some really dark notions in this.
Not being a complete total jerk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, again, he's killing a guy because that's what he's literally asking for, and
that's why.
Then Morty has to go and fuck it up.
Now, to be fair, Morty's he was impressed. He was paying the guy. It's that own guy's fault for doubting himself.
It was just like Morty was just like trying to make small talk, basically, you know.
You know what it kind of gets to a little bit here? It's saying, Morty, basically a lot of these memories, at least the blue ones, because all the blue ones are on Morty. And the system goes as far as we saw it, because there are more colors. Just we focused on 3 of them. Blue is Morty's fault, red is Rick's fault, and purple's the family's fault.
Okay, I just realized this is also totally Inside Out.
Oh my god, yeah, yes!
Right? Because it's like color-coded and everything.
Oh, geez, you're right. I did not see that. God. Hey, Tiki, you blew my mind.
Rick's side out.
Oh god. Yes, can we have that? Can we see like the 4 little Rick emotions in Rick's head? That would be amazing.
That wouldn't be the ordinary. All the variations on Rick would be really welcome. Anyway, what was I getting at with this?
Toxic Rick could be anger.
God.
That'd be hilarious.
Let's see. Back on point. So I think we kind of see something with the blue Morty stuff. Is that on some level we see a little bit of Jerry in Morty's DNA with a lot of these.
Yes, I'm glad you bring that up because I was kind of picking up on that too.
Which kind of makes the Jerry code at the end more relevant.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that, again, Morty has some Jerry impulses in him that, again, through no fault of his own, he'll screw things up and screw people over. Only difference is Morty feels bad about it, where Jerry, it just doesn't. That pisses me off.
Okay, let's address probably the most mind-bending, mind-blowing short of everything, I think, which is the thing that kind of changes the continuity a little bit.
You want to jump to it now? You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't want to lead on it.
Let's dive into it, man.
Okay, holy crap, those squirrels.
Oh, yeah, God, it was so...
Oh, God, it's so terrifying, isn't it?
I knew you were going to love the squirrel thing. I knew it.
Okay, look, I've actually, followed a herd of wild turkeys before who have, in turn, stalked me through the woods, and that was kind of a terrifying experience. So
why are you stalking turkeys?
Because I was just like, ooh, look, wild turkeys, that's neat. I don't know, sue me.
Okay.
Okay, the point being, I walked right into their territory, and then they were stalking me, and it was fucking crazy, and I I know how it feels to be stalked by wild animals, okay? Jeez.
No, but I see your point. Just like, it's always that we're kind of doing the up. There's a little bit of up in this too, in a way.
Oh, God.
We'll understand what the animals are saying, and of course, squirrel.
I love how enthusiastic Morty is about the whole idea. He's so childlike. Who wouldn't want to talk to animals?
But I'm honestly surprised Rick helped him.
I just love the idea the squirrels are almost like something like the Court of Owls or League of Assassins, where they're planning the destabilization of the economy, and they run the world, and it's like they have their own house of cards going on. It's it's
like talking about Monsanto and.
The crazy thing is Rick's aware of it too.
I know that's the beauty of the whole thing.
You would think that Rick would be like, "Hey Morty, maybe avoid squirrels, Morty." Just saying, just giving you a tip.
Or even, let's kill these squirrels.
Right.
No, here, that's the brilliance of it, that where Rick's realizing it's like, even if he killed all those squirrels, there's going to be more of them all across the globe. It's like, it's a network. Like, that's the thing, you wonder why he didn't just kill them there, but it's like, no, there's still, there's a whole network, so they have to change realities again.
So thus, basically, this is the second love potion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we haven't had that since.
What do you guys think about that? I love how this series goes about. We've talked about this before when we talked through the series of it'll just throw huge, earth-shattering continuity twists at you, and basically make it a casual mention. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, Tiki, something interesting to note.
Depending on when it happened, it might ruin a bit of continuity, but who knows? Depending on when it happened.
Something interesting to note, just based on the whole love potions of it all, is that, with love potion, we did call that back where, the bodies are literally buried in the backyard.
Uh-huh.
And you'll notice Rick had a really interesting line, might be a nugget that we're going to explore in the future with this, if they ever call back to it like that, where Rick said, we can only do it a few times, Morty.
Yeah, a few times.
As far as we, the audience, know, this is the second time, at least we've seen it happen so far.
You see, that's the main thing, because I've heard theories that this whole episode is a different reality of Rick and Morty. But I don't buy that just because of the whole, we've specifically seen our Rick and Morty jump to a different reality once before. We've heard Rick use the same words, we can only do this a couple more times.
Exactly. So that's the question. How many more times? So let's see. So we did that. Love Potions was season 1, wasn't it?
Yeah, season 1. Yep. There wasn't anything in season 2 to that scale.
That's what I'm trying to see if it tracks once per season or anything. But no, because it was 1 in the first season, 1 in the third.
I don't think there's anything in season 2.
Neither do I. But I'm just seeing if there may be kind of a thing to track. But no, okay, it just seems like just 2 so far. Okay, let's see. But yeah, the squirrels. I just love Justin Roiland just saying, "You messed with squirrels, Morty. You messed with squirrels." I just love how convicted he is of it, how certain he is. You screwed with squirrels, you kicked the bull. Now we gotta run. We're doomed, man. You messed with squirrels. There is that. He has to go bag at the ready. He has the bag full. You pack your stuff, Morty. He has his bag packed.
The only thing that would have made that better is that bag's in case of squirrels.
You're right. Oh, here's a few things to note real quick. We had a few, basically, a major thing we do have to address with all the kind of the stuff here. I think the episode earns major points for me over any of the interdimensional cables right off the bat is that we have this moment. We have a great kind of a mind blower kind of twist, if you will, in this episode. Classic Rick and Morty twist where, they're doing the clip show. They're doing kind of the anthology of horror type thing again.
I like how he specifically mentions, this isn't a Simpsons Halloween special, Morty.
Exactly. But then we have that great moment where we have this great twist on the clip show anthology where they lose their memories and they're evaluating themselves through the mind blowers, kind of relearning who they are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's where things get interesting. For else, we have the great weirdo gag where they're saying I'm an old man, I'm an adolescent boy, and we're in this secluded location. Hey, maybe you're the effing weirdo. It's kind of addressing kind of
also,
the old joke about Doc and Marty.
Episode, more so than usual.
Oh, sure.
I don't know, just something I noticed.
Unfortunately, like BoJack Horseman, they can't get away with the.
No. BoJack Horseman does it for a reason. Don't even get into that.
Well, I mean, sure, yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, kind of like getting away with like having the F-bombs being heard, just period, you know.
No,
Yeah,
I'm just.
That's a different context.
Could drop as many F-bombs as they want to, but they make it artistic. That's a whole different conversation.
So speaking of which, so basically the reason.
I mean, did you guys notice like the weird censorship in this episode as well?
Honestly, like, Jacob, you mentioned that to me before, but the version I had honestly was uncensored.
Well, basically, it's on Adult Swim.
I mean, what I'm saying is that I watched the AdultSwim.com version.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like some parts, I mean, like some parts of the episode said the S word, mentioned the S word because I'm trying not to curse on screen online. Mentioned the S word, and some parts of it bleeped it out when it was clearly what they were saying.
Well, for me, when you watch it on when it premieres on TV, it's like everything but the F-bombs you can hear. Essentially, it's every. I don't know. It's like an air thing. Also, when it reruns, then they have to censor the S-bombs because people could be watching at different times. It's this weird little.
I do not know how I got a hold of a copy with like the F-bombs uncensored, but I did somehow.
The DVD probably, but maybe some version. I don't know.
Anyways,
well, Tiki, I'm still. You might be imagining the F-bombs. I'm not trying to be.
No, I don't
seriously.
think so.
There is a chance because we've had this with you before, where you don't really realize the censorship.
Maybe. Anyways.
Anyway.
Oh God, shut up.
You know it might be true. Anyway, so the reason I bring up the whole kind of the big twist of it all with the Mindblowers is that we have this great thing where Morty's plugging in constant memory after memory, he's kind of putting stuff together, and we see all the mainly the Rick memories. We see all the petty stuff that Rick has erased as removed memories from Morty for. It's like really quick flashes, and we have like them playing checkers and Morty wins. So then, okay, it's an implication. He removed that memory because they didn't want Morty to think he could win. Morty gets his hand chopped off, and this one was the most petty and ridiculous. Is that Morty's getting into his birthday cake, and he threw like the 13 from the 13th on the Rick's head, and basically that's implying that just because he did that, Rick removed the memory of his 13th birthday.
But of course, let's address maybe like the second most mind-blowing appearance in the episode, which
you're
was,
right, the engagement of Mr. Poopy Butthole pre being shot.
Oh man, and we've been waiting all season for a reappearance of Mr. Poopy Butthole, and then
he's been recuperating.
What?
He's been recuperating since he got shot.
Right. But there he is in like a split-second cameo. Also, I noticed in the giant, like when they're in the giant space prison, we see some Meeseeks.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, there's some.
Oh, do you mean the menagerie?
Yeah, the menagerie. Yeah.
It's kind of funny. I was watching the Orville recently. They did a menagerie as well.
Nice.
It's kind of timely, I guess. Also, let's see.
You want to know one of my favorites as well?
Is it the granite versus granite thing? Like, where are you guys coming down there? What do you think it is? Granite or granted? To
be honest with you, I didn't really care for that moment. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, I was.
Well, I'm not gonna have a grudge. I give if you didn't like. I was saying like it's kind of an observation I really heard before. Someone bringing that up against someone else and just Rick just being so.
It's like the mundanity of it. It's like Rick removed it because of that. I mean, it's just the whole ridiculously of it.
Right.
Morty was being an a-hole in that scene, though. He really was.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I didn't care for.
Yeah, I'll agree with you there, T. I'll tell you this, though. I do love Morty when he's pissed off. Remember when Morty finds out about these Mindblowers? He's like, "Yo, Rick, they're smashing all the stuff." And
what I liked about that whole Grantley, like he was pulling a Rick on Rick.
True. Okay.
Like Rick takes any chance he can to rub his intelligence in people's faces. Morty was just doing the same when someone made a mistake.
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, we had that horrific. We had the most horrific mind blower where I'm trying to look for the title here if it exists. Well, basically, had a really ridiculous, convoluted title. The poop aids. Basically, it leads to this whole this horrific slug.
Oh God!
This horrific slug poop experience, where basically Morty's possessed by this kind of otherworldly space slug or interdimensional slug or something, and basically this is what cracked me up more. So I don't know if everyone else got this.
No, this was great.
I love
it. Great.
Here's what cracks me up about it. It's less the timing's fantastic, but more so I just love it's like the positive reinforcement that encourages it. That's what cracks me up, the fact that they have to positively it's like it's like you're potty training your child or something. It's like you gotta give them the positive reinforcement for it to get progress, and of course the minute they don't, they bicker, they make fun of them, it goes back. It's so horrific, and so God, the timing's just perfect on that game. That's how you do a poo joke.
Okay, let's talk about the perfect center, which I think was just fucking brilliant.
Perfect center, yeah.
The one where Morty's like trying to.
The levels, the perfect.
Yeah.
Shelf, yeah. That was great.
I love. This is like one of those like great like high sci-fi type ideas.
This is most Twilight Zone for me.
Right.
Basically, he says, I want to make it level. Here's true level, Morty. And then basically he makes
I love how hard like Rick's working on it too. He's like got his shirt off, he's hammering away.
I love the care and compassion that Rick has for Morty in that one moment of acting where basically, Morty's like he's like kind of losing faith in existence essentially after the world is
actually one of the times that that Rick erasing the memory is kind of justified.
Yeah,
I do agree with that. It's like for whatever reason that all happened, and Rick just was like, okay, like he's easing his pain instead of just being petty and it's like he's actually helping us. So it's like, oh, you beat me at chess, I'm taking your memory.
So let's explore that for a second here. Is that Rick is we explored with the removing of the memories here. So Rick is doing something sometimes to help Morty or help himself, and in doing so, what's happening? I think the episode kind of explores, especially when they kind of after they kind of rediscover who they are and they're about to take a suicide pact. What leads to that is this idea of doing so, removing these memories with their characters. It's kind of removing them of the experience of experiencing what happened, good or bad, and any chance of character growth. And it's very much in Rick's character to do kind of the easy solve, just like I'll get him out of my hair, I'll solve the problem easier so we can move on, just get us back to the status quo. And interestingly, again, with that status quo thing, is that we're keeping them both stagnant, static characters in doing so, which is kind of what we've been watching on the show. Kind of adds another dimension to Rick and Morty going back to being Rick and Morty every episode. Now we have kind of a bit of a darker kind of shadow to that idea.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do think that's something that's been kind of running through the whole season, is this idea of the classic Rick and Morty adventures having a darker context behind them when you put them under a microscope.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Dragon, you have the list in front of you. Any big ones that we're missing that we haven't gone over yet?
All right, let me just, let me read the titles and just say anything that pops out to your description. We got the Moonspiracy.
Oh, Moonspiracy was a good one. Oh, God. That felt like a Stephen King story or something.
I think you're right about that. Yeah, it is kind of Stephen King.
Just because I'm still hyped up about it, so I've got Stephen King.
Well, that's of course what it is. Yeah. A few things. I love the great, I love the satire on this whole this man, the principal. I want to say it's the principal. The principal basically interprets Morty telling him that he's a man from the moon. He's up to something. I can't prove it at all. Like, is he doing anything bad? Well, no, I can't prove it, but he's up to something. And then we see this. I love we don't have any dialogue. We see it unfold. He punches the guy, yells at him, punches him, tells him, "Get out of here!" And I just love it satirizes that in this modern day. And again, it's kind of the Rick and Morty twist of it all too. So this modern day, while no logical, don't give them the benefit of that and kind of entertain the notion. A kid, a teenager telling you this, you got to take it as, okay, this teacher is doing unsavory things to body, and he assumes that lives on the moon was a code for something far more sinister. So I love the social commentary of that satire. That it's kind of what we're. Unfortunately, we live in that world now where we can't afford any whimsy like that anymore. Like, you can't just say we're not going the typical direction. Okay, Morty's crazy. Let's dismiss him. No, we're going to listen to Morty, and we're just going to assume it's this worst thing.
Mhm.
And I gotta like that Morty does feel guilty for that, because one, he kind of ruined this guy's life over the wrong thing, but secondly, it's just the fact that, again, even if he was from the moon, he wasn't really doing anything bad. He's just looking sinister.
All he wanted to do was guide youth. That's all he wanted.
And he was a Marine, darn it. It was a moon-loving Marine.
Oh man.
I just think it's kind of funny that the first two segments we see are Morty inadvertently leading somebody to their death.
Yeah.
True. Actually, all the first three too, because you have Moonspiracy is that's the moon guy. The Menagerie, that's like two people, not exactly dead, but they are like really screwed over.
They are very screwed. Yes.
Let's see. We have the Whole Enchilada, which is definitely a guy dying and not going to the kind of the orgasmic afterlife as he wanted.
Nope.
God, it's real, and it's so painful.
I think really there's really only two left, honestly, and they're really short. So like we have the Bebo death.
Oh god.
Or the Bebo death, where basically they pull a tauntaun on this poor like cuddly creature that
is one of the most disturbing, simply because of the fact that Bebo is still alive as they're rolling into him.
That's the thing. The tauntaun just in all fairness, the tauntaun died, then they used the body, so it they didn't kill it. It died of natural causes.
Right.
In this case, it was murdered.
He's like, wait, are we on jumping to 9 or are we on doing a 7?
God.
Yeah, that was pretty messed up.
I guess the other one would be the vaccine interrogation. Basically, the interrogation series. So we have learn. Basically, we're going to interrogate this guy to find out. So we can make a vaccine to some code about a vaccine, or basically find out so they can make a vaccine to save everyone. Apparently, I love the drama that's set up with this, and then of course the comedic payoffs of the drama. Like this thing tried to kill Jessica, so Morty really wants this guy. And again, we're kind of hitting on what I loved in the previous episode, kind of the cop Rick and Morty in a way.
Right.
And so here, we have
it's kind of going back like the cop Morty from the previous episode, and then also the Jessica stuff from the episode before that.
Yeah, which I don't want to read too much into like all the various Ricks and Mortys, but I mean, if you look at each of those as a potential route that a Rick or a Morty could go, which I guess the whole infinite Earths kind of theory, you could look at it that way. The point is, just like the idea that every possible choice Morty could make would create another Morty. You could look at it as like, again, we see Morty has the potential to become. Absolutely has the potential to become cop Morty, that the corrupt cop Morty that we did see with actions like this from the actual Morty. Anyway, so Morty's willing to cross the line, and Rick's actually being kind of restrained here, and he's just like, okay, grab those two tendrils, and he does, and hey, give him a chance to breathe, and Tiki, why don't you tell folks what happened?
Oh, why, Dragon? Because I'm into the kinky stuff.
Well, I thought you want to do it because you make it funnier. But would you
Fair enough.
Thought you were going to make it funnier, but if you're going to split hairs,
yes. What happens is that the alien is very, very into it.
Yes, he is. Yeah. Yes, he is. Essentially, gives him
which leads to the great line by Rick, something along the lines of I'm kind of paraphrasing here, but damn it, Morty! If we can kill our enemies, but we can't jack them off to meet a peaceful resolution, then what kind of country are we?
That is such a great line, especially out of context.
Oh God. And then, of course, we have to talk about the Jerry Mindblower right at the end.
Essentially, we have an ET parody in which
Jerry, this is fantastic.
And Jerry being just that idiot that he is, he had one job and he couldn't do it.
Like watching Netflix on his smartphone.
Yeah, he's watching something. Just what an idiot! And then he's their little ET villain has died in the car, and it's like this guy is such a bad parent when you really think about it.
I think you're right, Dragon. I think there is something to the fact that throughout the episode we're seeing Morty inadvertently kill people, and then we see Jerry at the very end inadvertently kill the little ET knockoff.
Yeah, to be fair, at least Morty tried. Jerry, he just didn't try. That's what killed the innocent.
Yeah, but with Morty, a lot of it was just out of kind of stupidity too.
Well, true.
Oh, also, I guess, hold on. One other thing.
Oh, yeah, the ending. We got to talk about the summer of it all.
Okay, yeah, the summer, but hold on. Also, we didn't talk about the light switch gag.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, the light switch. The light switch of life and death.
Hit the switch on the left, Morty. On the left.
God, maybe it's the wrong one. And
so I heard 3 distinct clicks, Morty, so I'm going to guess that one of them was you hitting the one on the right, then you hit the one on the left, as instructed, and then a timid, shameful flicking off of the one on the right that you shouldn't have flicked to begin with. Am I right? Yeah, that's about how it all shook out.
Get a shovel, Morty.
God.
God.
Jeez, that's
super dark. I just love that Rick just has this like operation just on another planet. They have to take a spaceship to get to it. Oh God.
Yep, I've been in Rick's shoes on that one.
You've been in Rick's shoes in terms of dead bodies.
No, not the dead. Sorry, let me rephrase. I've been in Rick's shoes and you've given the orders.
Like having a whole room full of dead bodies that you have to dispose of.
No, not. I couldn't comment on that if I wanted to. My point is the following explicit instructions. That part of it.
Gotcha. Okay, but yes,
it's just the way it was worded.
Yeah. Okay, let us go ahead and talk about the summer of it all to end it out.
I love the summer of it all, man. I really did. I love it.
Okay, you know what this is? You know what this is? This is classy Meg Griffin.
I'm sorry, what?
It's classy Meg Griffin.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you said something else. Like classy Meg Griffin from Family Guy, basically back in the good old days and actually making her good.
Yes. This is basically like how to do a story based on, kind of like the neglected child, but do it right.
I love the progression we do get on Summer with this. So the fact that Morty has entrusted her with this job, and the fact that Summer is, she's getting kind of the okay from Rick. I meant Rick, not Morty. She's getting the okay from. She's getting the okay from Rick, and Rick is kind of indoctrinating her with a few things on the side like this, and they're very crucial, very important things. Like, again, it's the fact that he has all these contingencies laid out, and Summer is the kind of the one who executes these contingencies, which is, I thought was really cool, and it's a neat way of getting us, of kind of fixing the whole memory issue of it all. And I love it's like a break glass case emergency thing. She breaks open like the plastic card, and it's like, oh, okay, scenario 4, dart, and darts him, and then fixes the memory and drags him back there and says, "Oh, we fell asleep during Interdimensional Cable. What's going on, Summer?"
Yeah, I love how they're mad that they missed Interdimensional Cable.
Oh yeah, the writers are very aware of you can tell them they do this thing called Inside Rick and Morty. I'm sure many people at this point are familiar with, and they have this joke. They have 2 really funny jokes in it in regards to this. One is just basically they blamed it on Morty for why they didn't do Interdimensional Cable. And secondly, at the end, Justin Roiland says, "Oh yeah, I wish I had memories I could I have like memories I wish I could remove." And then basically we kind of do a close up on him. We hear like Justin Roiland improving just like all these violent, horrific things that are happening. Like,
oh God,
playing like his internal monologue. He's remembering them, but we're not seeing him. Like his motionless face, and as we hear it's really funny.
All right, so let's see. Next episode is going to be something to do with Beth. Hold on.
ABC's of Beth.
Yeah, the ABC's of Beth. Yes.
Yeah, good old Beth.
It should be interesting because we haven't really had a Beth episode in a while. I think Pickle Rick was the last time in the season we really explored her relationship with Rick in depth. So,
and we did have a really cute bit with like a little kid Beth in.
We did.
Yeah, in the Citadel.
And it was ruined.
Simple Rick.
Simple Rick. Oh boy, that gets me excited for seeing a Beth and Rick episode. Just based on that, I know it's not going to be remotely like that, but I just love that pairing.
All right, and of course, the season finale will be the Rickturian Morty date. Da da da.
It's when Morty actually asks out Jessica. No, it's
God.
Far more interesting than that.
Okay, so final thoughts on Morty's Mindblowers, guys. What do you got?
Well, I liked it.
Like I said, it was nice. It was nice to have a little breather episode after all these last few episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I think the last 3 episodes are by far the strongest of the season, and I kind of hold them in sort of a bubble. I can't really decide which of the 3 are better than the others. I think I'll have a better grasp on that once we see the last 2 of the season. But suffice to say, I'm just really stoked that the season has really, really found its footing after, because around the time of like the Whirly Durly conspiracy, about episode 5 or so, I was like, yeah, these episodes are good. It's not really hitting me the same way that Rick and Morty usually does. I specifically remember with the Whirly Durly conspiracy, the podcast we did, I brought up the whole, the lack of hard sci-fi in this season. And definitely in the last 3 episodes, they've absolutely come through and delivered some really, really great and memorable hard sci-fi storylines. One within the context of a clip show, which is pretty genius.
And the fact they made a clip show count, that's always something to really kind of applaud a show for. Because traditionally, clip shows can be death.
I think Clerks is still my favorite example of like the reinvention of the clip show format. But
an infamous example of the clip show for me would be Legend of Korra had an episode where basically Nickelodeon denied them budget, so they had to do a clip show.
Oh God!
And fans noticed big time, and it was like, oh, you felt so bad for them. And they on the commentary, they're so fighting the words that they want to say. It's like, oh, they're so unhappy with what they had to do. But
all right, guys. Well, we hope you've enjoyed this. Also, DuckTales is coming out in, just a couple days, right?
I believe so.
I think Saturday or something? I don't know. Let me actually check that really quick. Just because I'm prepared, god darn it. It's imminently, let's see, September 23rd. So that is Saturday. I was right. Haha. So yeah, we'll be doing DuckTales probably Sunday, guys. And in the meantime, just stay tuned for more. Yeah.
I call dibs on his stuff.
Morty's Mindblowers.
Yeah, Morty's Mindblowers. Woo.
Simple Rick.